continue on with our 10 minutes of morning common. And today, in the past next couple of days, we're going to look at a beautiful passage here, a beautiful concept, which is how does God dwell in us? And it's again part of the story knowing the ark and how this all evolves. And one particular list that's kind of interesting is that God dwells in us. Parts of God in us are innocence, mercy, and charity. In other words, love, a loving goodness. And that's where we get a sense of. And I want to look at that word innocence today because it's interesting. Like the word innocent is, it's oftentimes, in our culture has this connotation of almost naivete. I don't know a lot of people who are like a lot, especially a lot of guys who would like to be called, well, that's one innocent person. That's not what it means in a spiritual sense. I mean, it could, but I think in a spiritual sense, it goes back to much more the original Latin part, which is unwounded. And it's that idea that in each of us, we all carry these wounds of life. They're just part of life. They're part of how we move through life. And there's still this deep part that is unwounded, that is has been touched by the wounds, right? But just has this openness to it. And that's where I really want to focus on, is like that openness that's deep at that core of innocence, and that openness to the world, that wonder, childlike eyes, seeing things with fresh eyes, seeing things anew, however you want to put it, maybe even curiosity, just as a generic way to hold it. But that idea of innocence, I think, is really significant. So what could this mean in our lives? Well, it's a simple way to look at it is, I was listening to Michael Lewis, the guy who wrote, uh, The Big Short, just fascinating writer. And I was listening to an interview by him, or of him, and I didn't know this, that he lost a daughter in a tragic car accident. She was a senior in high school. He was talking about how him and his wife and his family, how they moved through that. And obviously, like, that's a wound that will last forever. We never get over those kinds of wounds. I don't believe in this life we get over them per se. So that's not what he was talking about. He was talking about this yes and. Him and his wife really worked hard at a yes and approach to all of this. Now, what does that mean? Well, the yes is the acknowledgement of the hurt. So yes, our daughter died. Yes, this is a tragedy we live with every day. Yes, there's no way to explain it. Yes, there is no perfect way to move through it. Yes, we cry every morning. Like it's just this yes, this yes, this yes. And it's this yes to, like, the woundedness of life. And that is very, very, very true. And I think it's a beautiful place to start. It acknowledges the hurt. We're not blasting off to the next thing. We're going to sit for a minute with that yes. Yes, this happened. And yes, this is painful. He then moves on and he says, yeah, and for us, we then have to add and to it. Yes, and. And what does that mean? And a yes and is where we're able to look at life and say, yes, this event happened. We lost our daughter and we're devastated about that every day. And we have two other children who are going to work as best we can to raise in a loving household. Or, yes, we had this loss. And today I'm going to go and I'm going to do the best job. He's an author. I'm going to do the best job at writing I can possibly do today. Yes, we lost our daughter, and we're going to honor her memory through ... And it's a beautiful combination of the both. And I think that's much more what innocence is talking about. It's not like somebody who has that perspective that he's talking about is naive in the least. They're not. They're very cognizant of the pain and the challenge and the tears, very cognizant of that all. And at the same time, they're stepping into a slightly different place, um, that brings that pain with them. It's not, you know, as Nora McInerney said, grief is not something we move past; it's something we move forward with. I think that's that yes and approach, and I think that's where we can come to really understand innocence in a very very different way. So that's the thought for today, folks. And just knowing, that's God with us. And it's, boy, it's I'm stumbling here with the language because I think there's, like, part of that is just this softness of the world, and this soft eyes as we approach the world. And it just, I don't know, just seems I so get or that, yep, that really feels like that's part of how God is going to be abiding in us. Not a fiery God, not an angry God, not a God that has all these answers for every little thing, but a God that's just able to say yes and, God that's able to say yes and we should be able to say that as well. So that's the thought for today, folks. So may you have a yes and day with whatever might be troubling you, whether it's big or small, or a long-term grief over a loss, or a small-term loss over something less than that. But may we all just be thinking yes and today, and really holding innocence in its context that gives us soft eyes, allows us to open to the world. So that's the thought, my friends. Hope that makes sense. And what we're going to do now we're going to do our little meditation part of 10 minutes of morning calm. We're going to take a little breath. Then we're going to do a little meditation. Then we're going to do a little prayer. Then we're going to do a little blessing. And we're going to say hi to folks on social media. So with that, friends, let's get a little breath and a little meditation. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you, bring you peace, and bring you home. Amen. All right, dear friends. Hope you have a great day. And now we'll hop onto little social media, see if anyone has any commentary today. And again, most of our audience listens archived. We do get a lot of archived comments. Always feel free to leave a comment, whether even if we get some comments that are weeks, if not months old, and that is all fine by us. That is for sure. All right, number of comments here. Patricia, great to see you joining us. Mary Haney writes, the and is often asking God to show us how to carry the wound and continue to move forward. It's challenging to not let the wound drown us. Mary, that is so beautifully said. And yeah, I'll try to forward his podcast to you, Mary, because he was really good. I mean, it was profound hearing how he put that. Um, Marcus writes, good morning, and good morning to you. Betty, good morning. Great seeing you last night. Have a great week. Yeah, Betty, that sure was fun. We have a little group that gets together. We have a number of groups here at New Church Live get together once a month, kind of for dinner groups. And that is always, always, always very, very enjoyable. All right. So let's flip on to another page here, see if there's any other comments there. There we got a number. All right, Linda, good morning to you. I hope you're doing well, and same to you too, Kim. Uh, Sherry writes, good morning. Missed you yesterday. How was the meeting? It went really well. I had a little visit with someone, and it started running long, and I thought, oh, well, we're gonna have to go archive this morning. But thank you for asking, Sherry. Yeah, Kim writes, I love the thought of soft eyes, and that's such a big one, Kim. Like, just it's funny, like there's these physical parts that we can really get. And one is just learning to look with soft eyes. Like literally, if you just go, okay, take a breath, just look at something with soft eyes. I think we can feel that right away, what that's like to have soft eyes. So, anyhow, friends, thank you for all that. And thank you for joining me this morning. And thank you to our archived audience who will be joining us later in the days and weeks ahead. Wishing you all the very best. God bless. Take care.